Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Mickelson, and this is part two of my genetic algorithms application for the CSC 438 class here at the University of Advancing Technology. Um, so you may recognize this title screen. It looks pretty similar to the first application that I worked on. I added in a little bit of text just describing a little bit further on some of the changes that I implemented. Now, the changes I wanted to implement are listed in this table. So first off, you may have noticed that my first application had only one target. Now what I wanted to do was see what happens when I add in multiple targets. And going off of that, I wanted to see what would happen if I had different types of targets. So I have one target, well, I have multiple targets, and they're different types. So for example, there's a food target and a water target in the application that I made. The food target is represented by sort of an orangish color, and the water target is represented by a blue color. I also wanted to see what would happen if I had different types of agents for those different types of targets. So I have the application involving two different types of agents for the two different targets. And I'll show you that here in a minute. I also wanted to make sure that there was some kind of like poisonous target or bad target that the agents try to stay away from. And I also wanted to make a more complex obstacle layout. So from the first application, you saw that there was only one obstacle. I wanted to add in some more. So let's go ahead and run this application and see what it looks like. If I click run, you can see that I have more complex obstacle layout. All these boxes on the edges here are my obstacles. I also have two targets. This orange one here is the food, and this blue one here is the water. And then the green circle that's following my mouse around is the poison. Here comes our agents. Okay, so you can see that the agents, as they travel around, change color. You can sort of see that as they travel up. See, there's some orange, there's some blue, and then there's some in-between colors, depending on if they are uh, in the in-between between the two targets, so they're not quite decided. So the orange are basically agents that are more likely to go towards the food, and the blue are the agents that are more likely to go towards the water. And then, of course, the purplish in color are the ones that are still a bit confused. They're a bit undecided. So we're going to let this run for a little bit. And you can see that there's more orange agents than blue agents. And they're evolving to travel more towards the food than to the water. Now, if I take my green circle, you can see that I can kill off some of them using the little green circle here. So some of them just disappear. And they all travel up towards the orange circle. Cool. And you can see the majority of them have evolved to just travel towards the orange circle now. Now, one thing that I can do is I can actually force them to evolve towards the water using the green circle here. So as I go through, I can kill off the ones that are evolving towards the orange circle and force them to take a different path. See that there's more and more blue now, whereas a couple generations ago there's only orange. So I'm forcing them to evolve to travel towards the water versus the food. I guess the other way you can think of this is sort of like water versus land, and which one's more fit for their survival. Okay, and they're traveling more towards the water now. So I'm just going to let them evolve towards that. Now, another thing you may have noticed is that there are they're sort of going out away from each other a bunch. That's just because my mutation rate for them is very high right now. Well, not very high. It's 5% versus just 1% mutation rate. So they tend to travel a little bit more dispersed than the last video that I had on this application. All right, you can see that they've basically fully evolved now to travel towards the blue. Awesome. Now that's all I have for this application. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.